Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an experience like no other. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Mary D. Show, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The Mary D. Show brings you powerful insights and inspiring stories from a diverse range of guests. Join our incredible host, Mary D. Welch, as she sits down with thought leaders, business owners, and changemakers, sharing their journeys and successes. From career professionals and entrepreneurs to educators and beauty advisors, Mary D. Welch interviews sports figures and health enthusiasts, offering a platform for extraordinary voices. Explore the world of extraordinary people and places in business and finance, homes and real estate, beauty and wellness, education and empowerment, sports and health, and more. Want to be a guest on the show? Call 619-669-8603 or email Mary at marydwelch.com. Visit www.marydwelch.com to learn more.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the last show of 2025. Wow, think about this. This is 2025. We're only a few days away from a whole new year. I can still remember when we were saying 2024, we're into 2025, and now it's over. I was sharing with some people, when you before you turn 21, it seems like it's forever to turn 21. But once you turn 21, it's like a rocket. It's like a rocket took off. But anyway, first, hi live viewers, hi replay viewers, I just want you to know I do appreciate each and every one of you coming to the show today. I want to thank you. Well, I know Oliver sees what we are actually. He's got to turn his volume down because he's listening at the same time I'm broadcasting. But anyway, just wanted to make sure came on. You know how I don't miss broadcasting. That's just one of those. I'm gonna be here no matter, God willing. You know, as long as what they say, God willing, and the creek don't rise. You know how that. Those of you familiar with those Southern sayings. But the point is to be here for you and the people that are coming. But I also want to thank Oliver, who is the executive producer for the show. Hi, babe. He's only a few feet away from me today. But I just want to make sure I thank all of you. You know, this year, it's been a year. It's been a year. Some things good and some things not that good. It has been. I can't even describe it. Before I get into the show, I'm just giving you guys some me and the life things I've dealt with, and I went into a new decade of life. That was new for me. Thankful and grateful to be there. Let me just say that. Just really new changes. We have a grandbaby she's 2.5 now. She'll be coming up 3. We'll be meeting her for the first time this year. Just a lot. I thought we weren't going to travel this year, and we've traveled. We've had 2 granddaughters graduate. We have one graduate from college. We're really proud of her. Her name is Mari. She graduated from NYU, and she is in college to be a film editor, or she's just graduated to be a film editor. That's her major. And then we have another granddaughter entering college, and she's a freshman. And we have a third granddaughter. She's I forgot. Okay, the one granddaughter entering is at Savannah School of Art and Design. That's her major, to be an actress. And we have another granddaughter. She's going to school at Rutgers University to be a teacher. I cannot even express how proud I am of each of those girls. They're just fabulous. And if you know what I mean, and they're just nice people. Education is one thing, but who you are as a person means as much as that education. I'm gonna tell you, those of you that I know, some people say, well, I don't have a college degree, and I don't have this. Who are you and how do you treat people? That's paramount to anything you're doing. Because if you're mistreating people, if you are not being a good person, what difference does education make? You're number one, you're not going to be able to get, if you get a job, you're not going to be able to keep it. Because people, I have seen employers let good people go. They were good. I say they were good at what they did, but who they were affected the jobs, the people they work with. They got rid of them. And they thought all they had to do was go in and do a good job. No, you got to be kind to people. Be a good person to people. We're going to talk more about that as we go today, because today it's a different kind of show today. So I definitely want to talk to you about that. But we have other kids too, and I'm sharing with you guys how the grandkids are doing. We have one in middle school going into high school. We have another grandson in high school. That's Armando. We have another one going in, and that's Ethan. Um, Celestial is the baby of all the grandkids right now. So we have, it's just of all of them. Did I miss anybody? Who did I miss? I don't think I missed anybody. But I will tell you this, it is to live to see your grandchildren, to live to see that, to see them um, grow and mature and live their life is, to me, that's the greatest. I thank God that I've lived to see that, because a lot of people never live to see it. They just don't. They didn't live long enough to see it. I've been blessed. Unfortunately, I lost two brothers, and they did not see their grandchildren. Um, Neither one of them did. No, they didn't know their grandchildren. So they, unfortunately, that's unfortunate that they didn't. So we, as their sisters, do get to watch their grandchildren and dote on them and try to really keep them in that family circle, because that is so important. Keeping your family um, close. I will say this: I've heard this year so many situations where family members don't, they're not talking, they're arguing, they're fighting, whatever the case may be. And all I would say with that is life is short. Life is short, ladies. We think because we're here, it's hard to imagine not being here. But the chances of being here, is that you all right? Or is that me? I hear a phone ringing. That must have been me. Okay. But the chances of us just being here. I think I remember us hearing the numbers are like a billion and something to one. Think about the odds. It's like winning the lottery to even be on this planet. That's what it's equal to. Winning the lottery. Because the chances are you have a better chance of not being here than being here, but you are here. You're here. You won. You won. Now, what are you going to do with it? Now, what do you may say, well, I'm older now, and this, that, and this is how I look at life. I'm older too. So I look at it like this. Are you breathing? Are you breathing? If you are breathing, you have a chance to do whatever it is you want to do. And I mean whatever, because as many of you know, I'll say this. I was a teacher for over 34 years, 34 years in education. And I actually called my school district one day. And I said, I don't know why I said this. I said, well, how long have I been here? And I just said it kind of like off the cuff. I wasn't saying it because I even really cared what the answer was. When the lady said 30 years, I literally went into shock. I said, send me my retirement papers. She said, what? It was like, what happened? I said, you just said I've been at the school district for 30 years. She goes, yeah, you have, Mary. I'm like, I gotta do something different. She's like, what is going? The lady on the phone was with, could not believe what I was saying. And part of me, I don't think I could believe what I was saying. But I said it because even though, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I had no clue what I was gonna do. I didn't even have a thought in my mind of what that was gonna be. But I knew this one thing in that split second. It's time to make a change. It's time. Whatever it is you need to do, whatever that is, it's time to make a change. It's time. It's time to do something different. And I didn't even know. Think about this. After that many years in education, I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know. I didn't have a clue. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what. I didn't know nothing. Not one thing. When I said that to that lady that day, I think that was at lunchtime I called. So I was getting ready to go right back and teach my class. And not that I was doing anything different, but I said, it's time to make a change. That's all I said. Now, some people think I retired to write. Not true. Some people think I knew in there. Let me just say, I knew nothing. That's the best way I can tell you. I knew nothing. So I didn't know I was going to write. I didn't know I was going to be write children's books or any other kind of books. By the way, I didn't know any. I never thought I'd be a screenwriter. Screenwriting was, how can I put this? It's like winning the lottery to write movies. I'm like, I didn't even know that was even something I even thought I could ever do. But you know what? I took the classes and learned how to do it. I did. Now I'll be the first to, I didn't. I never taken a class, not one class on writing a children's book. It just came to me. Writing a children's book has been such eye opening because I write them all the time now. They've just whenever we travel, usually I write one book. Almost every single time we travel, one children's book comes out of that trip, and it's so funny to me. Sometimes I always say, "Oh, I didn't see anything to write about or anything interesting." But what I've learned is I don't have to see anything. I just have to listen, and it comes out of conversations. It comes out. I can be watching a movie. It comes out of literally out of the thin air. I mean, but I always say they're God downloads. That's what I call them. Anytime you've seen a book with my name on it, it's a God download. And right now, I think there's 6 on Amazon. That's just children's. That's not the other books, but still. And the new one is coming out. I'm just getting ready to upload it now. Believe it or not, it's finally done. When I Was on the Moon, that's the next one coming. And I'm a republish. Have you seen The Red Elephant? Those are the 2 coming, but there's more coming. So just know that's only the books. That's not the movies. That's just the books. So the movies, that's a whole nother department. I guess you could say. And even with that, I want to thank you guys for encouraging me, saying you can do it. You can do it. Because believe you me, there's many days I be thinking, maybe I can't. Maybe this isn't for me. And this is what I believe. If you haven't had that thought, it's something wrong. I can't imagine anyone doing anything that's out of your, as they say, out of your wheelhouse. Because writing, let me share this with you guys. I don't think I've ever told this story, but I wrote a paper in English and got the paper back. Maybe I have, sure, I don't know. The paper came back to me. There was so much red on it. It looked like the paper was bleeding. I remember I turned the paper over. I did not understand. I didn't understand at the time. I get it now, but I didn't understand. The teacher was trying to help me. I didn't get that. All I saw was, look at all these errors. Look at all the, I can't write. I didn't get that she was trying to help me. I didn't get that until I was an adult. But now I look back and I think, wow, what if I had got that then? What if that sunk in then? So I look back now and I say, ladies, gentlemen, I, but this is how I look at life too. Things happen for a reason, and what's for you is for you. What's for you is for you. I'm saying it a third time for those, as they say, for the people in the back row here. What's for you is for you. Period. I can think of so many times in my life that things have happened, and people, oh, you weren't supposed to do that. Oh, you how did you qualify for this? It's so many different. I have when I tell you story, I got the stories, and well, that's not they're not stories, as one of my sons reminds me. He goes, "Mom, those are testimonies. Those aren't stories. Those are testimonies. You are testifying. You are testifying to what God can do." And I said, "You're right, son. That's exactly right. Because if I went by what people told me, I don't know where I would be. They would. I mean, even when I retired, the one of the I was talking to the principal, and she said, "Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?" And I said, "I don't know." I think the lady went into shock. She threw her hands up. She's like, "You don't know what you're going to do, and you have a job." She's like, and if I were honestly, it almost sounded crazy. Let me say that to you guys. Not almost, it did sound crazy. It's like, what are you? Why are you leaving a good job? What she said, she wasn't wrong. Said you leaving a good job for I don't know. I said, yeah. And then I started sharing with her how I had fasted and prayed, and that's when I came into, because at first, before I fasted and prayed, I was scared. So that's why I'm telling you guys these things I've been through. But once I fasted and prayed, and I think I shared this with you guys before, I only heard two words from God: trust me, trust me. Remember, I'd never written a word, didn't know anything about writing, didn't not. Well, I shouldn't say that. I had written a word. I'd written two poems in high school. That's it. But the children's books or any other books, saying no nicely, none of that. None of that. That wasn't even a thought. I've written two poems, and now that I think about it, I probably could go back and get them because they were in the school newspaper, and I probably should have kept going, but I didn't. I didn't. So I'm like, it's one of those, and I don't regret it because I didn't know what I was really doing, but now when I hear anything, I pull out my phone, I put it in the notes area on my phone, and I keep it there. That's what I do. And I go back to it, and next thing you know, I've added to it. Next thing you know, I have a children's book. Usually I start with the title, and I remember sharing that with you guys. And that's how I start. But this is how my writing journey started. It was from that day in the office. But before I could leave, when I was at the door, that's when I was at the door when she said, "What are you gonna do?" No, she said, I'm wrong. She said, "What if you do all of this and you find nothing?" Wow. Think about the power of that. What if you do all of this? Well, she was actually saying to me, you're gonna retire. You're retiring early, which I did. I retired at 57. You're retiring early. You don't have a plan. So you probably didn't even plan for your She didn't say this part, but this is it was implied. You just sat here and told me you have no plan of what you're gonna do. You don't really have know what's going on in essence. And what she was saying to me, which she was right, by the way, let me just add that, is I was having a midlife crisis. So it probably was, if I be honest. It probably was. But I didn't know what a midlife crisis was. I never had one before, so how would I know? And all I knew is that trust me worked for me. Trust me. Just trust me. I didn't know. I didn't see anything. I didn't know anything. I didn't hear anything. I heard those two. Just trust me. And those were still small voices. It wasn't like a loud trust me. It wasn't like that. It was a still small trust me. So I would tell any of you, whenever and you may say, well, I don't know the Lord's voice. I can tell you only a few times in my life if I heard the Lord speak to me. I can count them. I can tell you it's only been like 3 in my whole life. So it's not like it's something that's every day. It's not like that. But I do recognize it when the Lord speaks to me. Hi, Dr. Aura. Hello, nice to see you. Always, always. Dr. Aura, ladies and gentlemen, is part of the anthology that was about, we're going on 3 years ago now, Dr. Aura, almost 3 years ago. And I am so proud of her. Good to see you. Good to see you. And I think she's coming back as a guest this year. I think she is. Then we have, super, is that, are you prepared to present? Hello, Merry and Happy Holidays. Look, Charles, I saw your picture. That's why I knew. Hi, Charles. Good to see you. And let's see. We have Elaine. Elaine says, hello, Mary and Oliver. And let me see. Let me make it bigger here. There you go. And all who have joined in today. Blessings are wished for all of you for a beautiful Kwanzaa and Happy New Year. What is today, Elaine, under Kwanzaa? What is today? So I know you would know. So I'm gonna wait till you put it on here. And we have, let me go back to the comments. We have the executive producer, drum roll. Oliver is on. Oliver said, hi, continued viewers and new audience. We want to thank you and wish everyone a happy new year and continued blessings. That's our executive producer, Oliver Welch, my husband of 21 years, 21. I always tease him. I tell him, and they said it wouldn't last. And that's why I tell him. Like, he always said, who said that? That's what he always said. Nobody ever said that. I just tell him that. But anyway, thank you, babe. And then we have Antonio. Hi, Antonio. He says, hello, Mary. Usually you say me and Oliver, Antonio. And let me go, hold on. And then he says, hello, Oliver. I was going to say he does both. Then he said, hello, Oliver. All right. And Miss Kendall, 2011. Hi, Miss Kendall, 2011. Nice to see Mrs. Kendall. Sorry about that, Mrs. Kendall. Welcome back. Always glad to see you. And Antonio, you said, what did you say on yours, Antonio? Sorry, you said, I was going to tell you that it's my mom's birthday tomorrow. Wow. Oh, hi, Lori. Happy birthday, or soon to be happy birthday. Wow. I always think people get cheated around Christmas time. I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking that. I think at Christmas time, people try to double up on presents or something like that. But anyway, so I wanted to talk with you, ladies and gentlemen, about what is 2025 meant to you? Because it's, next thing you know, we'll be doing this. We'll have this conversation at the end of 2026. That's how fast it will. It literally is like a blur. 2025 to me, it's like, I can't believe it's over. I cannot believe. Well, we're down to only, I always say hours now, and it'll be over. It'll be over, and we're into a new year. So I want you to share. What are your goals? Well, this is what I do. Try first, look back on 2025, and you can put your comments in there. What would you like to change as you're going into 2026? I can tell you some of mine to get you going. One is to get a movie deal. Get a movie deal. That's a big one. You would think that's huge, by the way, just to do that. It's either get a movie deal or I don't know. Me and Oliver, I guess we could also. We're trying to debate whether we should do our own movie. We haven't got there where we're ready to say that yet, but you never know. You never know. But I'll share that with you. That comes up. I'll let you guys know all about that because we definitely would need support in helping us do that. Churches can support us. Yeah, because it's a movie. The movie that I'm thinking about would be a really good family movie. So people, it's not a movie that you would feel like you couldn't watch it. I always say I want to write movies where I can watch it with my grandkids and not have to cover their eyes up and say, "Don't look at that." because you know that when I've done that, they're like, man, I've already seen the movie 3 times. Think about that. They've already, whatever I'm trying to cover their eyes up, they've already seen the movie 3 times. So it's like, why are you doing that? So my idea of writing movies is where that's not an issue. That's not an issue. So that's where I want to go with that. So we'll see. But I would definitely encourage, you can put it in the chat if you like, what are your goals? Okay. Oh, I see. I think that's what it is. Emoja? Cooperative economics. I don't know if I said it right. Umuja? Okay. Cooperative economics is today. I already know for Kwanzaa. For those of you, I didn't even talk about Kwanzaa. I should have. For those of you not familiar with it, Kwanzaa was created by a professor at Long Beach State. I can't call the man's name right now, but that's the history of it. He created it's from the days of Christmas, the 7 days between Christmas and New Year's. It's what's known as Kwanzaa, which is celebrated by millions of people all around the world now because of his idea. Isn't that something? He created it, and he's still alive. He's still, but he's. I don't know if he's still teaching. I don't know about that part, but I just know he's still alive. So those of you that are interested, so that's where the history of it came from. I think if I'm not mistaken, he created it. I mean, he put the idea together because there literally was nothing between those 7 days. Think about that, and he created something. So now people all over the world celebrate those 7 days, and every single day is a principle. I know those of you familiar with the candles, you have the red candle, you have, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can correct me, the red candle is the blood, the green candle is the harvest, and then I forget what the black candle in the middle. I don't really remember what that candle means. So those of you that do know and you want to put that in the chat, please do, because I don't want to give out any false information. So I see, Antonio, you have a comment. You said, Antonio, my goal for this year is to get more people on my website and to reach out to more people to share my story about me and my mommy's journey and know that they are not alone in this world. Wow, Antonio, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And his mom is Lori, and she is the sweetest person. So is Antonio. So do you want to put your number here that can reach out to you, Antonio? I don't know if you want to put your phone number in here. And okay, you said, and that the only limits there is in life is a limit that we put on ourselves. Tell it, Antonio. And that means that we put limits on ourselves that we are procrastinating. I know I am guilty of that. Procrastination. I don't think that's listed as a sin, but it probably should be. So those of you, if you're interested in getting in touch with Antonio, he's going to put his contact number in here so that you can contact him. And Antonio and his mom live in South Dakota. Mrs. Kendall 2011. I don't have any retirement plan. Nonetheless, I just knew it was time for a change. See, I pray God's will be revealed in me. Mrs. Kendall 2011. I think that's why I'm telling you, when the lady told me 30 years, I literally was like, oh, it's time to go. Think about that. And I knew nothing. I didn't even know what I was taught. I honestly did not. It was no real reason other than life is short, ladies and gentlemen. Life is short. If I haven't learned anything in life, I learned that. It is. We think it's long. It is not. So whatever, and I say this to everybody here, whatever it is you want to do it. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody that I know of. No one is promised tomorrow. Your goal is to focus on licensing my patent and releasing any fear. Release the fear, Dr. Ora, because fear and faith cannot reside in the same place. You cannot have fear and have faith. It cannot be. You can have one or you can have the other, but not both. So you already know. Fear is not, it says, what's it in the Bible? Fear not. Fear not. Don't be afraid. And I think, I'm going to speak for me. I really think it's a fear of failure, fear of failing. You're feared like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? What if I look like a fool? Anybody feel like that? What if I look stupid? All those things. Let me tell you what they actually mean. Not a doggone thing. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, this is how I look at it. It took me years to get here, by the way. Let's say you do fail. But if you don't try, guess what? You'll never know. What if you succeed? That's what we forget. There's a yin and a yang. What if you try something and you succeed instead of thinking that you're not going to succeed? What if you do succeed? So don't think you're not going to, don't even think about it one way or the other. I'm going to be honest. Don't even think about it. Because even this year, I look back and I think, wow, I've done things I always wanted to do, but I never took the time to do them, or I didn't think I could. And now, one thing is I always wanted to work in the movie industry. I didn't know how to get in there. I didn't know what do you need to do? Who do you need to be? I had no clue. Now I've worked on, I can't tell you how many movie sets behind the scenes. And then, as you guys know, those of you on the email list, you saw me in front of, not, well, on the other side. I was in front of the camera. I went behind an extra in the background. And I always wanted to do stuff like that. And I got a chance to do that. So I would tell you, you don't really know what God has in store for you. So don't assume you know. But this is what I think. You take one step and he'll take two. But if you don't take a step, guess what? He won't either. Yes, I truly believe this. But if you take one step, it just multiplies. So, Antonio, the one thing in my life that I learned is that you have to sit and listen and be patient. Most of all, and God will listen to you, and also be patient with your dreams. Antonio, that's the truth right there. But this is what I have found too, Antonio. A lot of people don't know what their dream is. They don't know what it is. So if you don't, you have to know what it is. And you have to be clear when you're praying to God. Let me say all this. I'm glad we're talking about this. If you don't know what your dream is, and Miss Kendall 2011, I would say pray about it. Pray about it. Because you don't know. You're like, and I do appreciate what you're saying. You may not know I didn't know what mine was. I didn't know. Everybody, I'm just being honest. I never knew I could write. Never. If anything, I thought I could not write. Remember, I shared with you the paper looked like it was bleeding. There was so much blood, so much red all over it. That's when teachers graded everything in red. So for me, I thought I could not write. I never ever went back to writing for years. I'm talking about a long, long time. Probably like 30, 40 years. But then when I found out I could, now I can't stop writing. Can't stop writing. I write all the time. All the time. Almost every day now. Pretty much. Almost every single day I write. Now, isn't that interesting? The first half of my life, I didn't write all. Now I write all the time. So, but at the same time, I did pray about it, Miss Kendall 2011, as to what I didn't know what to do. For 5 years after I retired, I was gardening, I was doing yoga, I was volunteering, I was doing some of everything, trying to figure out, okay, Lord, why am I off this job again? Why did I retire again? And a lot of my friends were still working, and I kept thinking, okay, why am I here? I don't know why. I don't have a clue. I had no clue. So I'm saying to each of you, if you don't know, pray about it. Pray about it. But let me also tell anybody here, do not leave your job. Do not. I would never advise, you'll never hear me advise that. I say stay on your job, which is what my principal tried to get me to do. She tried to get me to do that. She said, why don't you stay on your job and figure out what you're going to do on the weekends? And I said, I would do that, except I take my kids home with me. My kids go with me. I don't leave them at the school. They're in my head. I'm still thinking about so and so's problems. And this one is having problems with his mom. And this one is failing the class. And what can I do to help? My head could not turn it off. Even though I wanted to, I didn't know how. But it would be 5 years. Think about 5 years to take that out of me. And then I would go in and start producing stories and everything. And by the way, we all have stories. Just know this. Every single person has a story. You have more than one. You just don't know that it could be a book. That's about the difference. The difference is I figured out they can be books. But you all have stories. Everybody does. Everybody has something they want that's inside of them, something that they can share, something that was funny and unique and all of these things. Everybody has them. But you have to write them down. And I'm saying that because people who don't, you have to write it down. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to make sense when you write it down. Let me just say that. Just write the story down. And then you can come to Front Page Publishing. If you like to get the story, I have editors, but if that's what you would like to do. But many people still write the story down, whether you get it published or not, because many stories you just want to share with your family. It could be family stories. Something happened in the family that everybody always laughs about every year, but nobody's ever written it down. Nobody never shared. You share it, and that's the oral tradition. But imagine if you wrote it down. Just last night, was it last night? A lady told me about a recipe that she has. And I told her, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. And she may be on right now. And I think about, I told her about the YouTube show. I said, you can go on YouTube and watch. She goes, you're kidding. I go, no, I'm on YouTube. But the reason I was intrigued by her story was intrigued by a recipe. I said, is that written down somewhere? She goes, no. I'm like, wow. So if we don't write it down, unfortunately, we lose all of this good information. The next generation, they don't get to take advantage of it because we don't share it. We don't share it. We have to share it. We have to. And the easiest way now, especially with computers, write it down, send it in an email, send it in a text. It can be a recipe, doesn't matter. If it's a short story and you want it to be printed, just give me a call. And those of you say, well, what is your number? Let me put it up for you guys. I didn't even think about that. But I will give it to you because, okay, thank you, Oliver. They looked it up. I'm going to put that up. Let me put that before I do that so everybody can see it. This is the creator of Kwanzaa, Dr. Malenga Karenga. Is that his name, Oliver? So he's the creator of Kwanzaa. Huh? I know it's Karenga's his last name. But, and I think I missed one of them. Malana Karenga. Okay. But, so he looked it up. So we know. And see, you know who's missing on here is the fact checker, Nanette. Miss Kendall 2011. You said, I enjoy your show. We've spoken on the phone before. I'm Darlene. I started writing an autobiography. I gave myself a deadline of April 30th, 2026. I retired at 62, and folks said a lot about it. What'd they say? 62? Maybe they think you should wait till you're 65. Okay, this is what I think. You should do what's right for you. Period. Because I have learned this lesson, as you know. I don't know if I shared this story with you guys. Let me share this. This is another one of the stories that I know. It's a true story. I'm going to share this before I go on. This was, oh my gosh. This is like, before me and Oliver got married, 25 years ago. That's how long ago it's been, at least. I was at a friend's house. and there was a lady sitting on her sofa. I was sitting on the right side. The lady, I didn't know the lady. She was sitting in the middle, and my girlfriend was sitting on to her left. And we're all sitting there talking. They introduced me to her. I was so happy to meet. I didn't even know the lady, and she was literally rocking like this. Because I was like, I actually said this to her. I said, are you okay? And she said, I just retired. I just retired, which was that Friday. And I'm meeting her on Sunday. And I said, well, congratulations. Congratulations. She said, I saved up $500,000. And she goes, I didn't go to lunch. I didn't go out to, this is all true. I didn't go to dinner with anybody. I saved my money because I wanted to be retired. I wanted to have some money. And then I can have my retirement income and get my Social Security. The lady is telling me all this. And I'm sitting here. She has 500,000 in the bank. I don't think I have $500 in the bank, if that's God's honest truth. So I'm sitting here listening to her. And then she said something which really triggered me. She said, now I'm going on a cruise. I sat there, ladies and gentlemen. I turned to her and I said, ma'am, do you know what it costs to go on a cruise? No, but it must be a lot. I was sitting here going, she has no clue of what it costs to go on a cruise. So I just asked her, I just mentioned, I said, just so you know, a cruise is not that expensive. She said, what? I said, no. I said, you can go on a cruise for less than $1,000. I thought the woman was going to jump off the couch then. She goes, what? I said, yes. I said, no one ever told you that? She said, no. I just thought it was a lot. So I didn't even ask. My coworkers were going on cruises. They're showing the pictures. They're doing she's telling me all this. I'm sitting here listening. I said, ma'am, I promise you, I have been on more cruises than I can count. And I already know it's not that expensive. And she said, wow, I just thought it was expensive. I never asked anyone. I said, oh, okay, well, just so you know, it's very affordable. And I said, so she goes, okay, I'm gonna have to look into that because I've been wanting to go. And I said, okay, I'm just listening to her. And we're both just sitting there. I said, okay, well, enjoy your retirement. I'm thinking, I literally, I'll never forget that day because she changed my life. That same week, so here it is Sunday, Wednesday of the same week, the girlfriend that was on her left-hand side called me that Wednesday afternoon. And she said, Mary, do you remember, I can't call her name, but the lady that was retired or they had just retired. And all I said was the $500,000 lady. She said, yes. I said, is she going on think about this. I said, oh, she's going on that cruise now, huh? She said, no, Mary. The lady passed away this morning. Passed away this morning. She had not even been retired 1 week. 1 week. What I learned from that, we make plans. We do. There's no guarantee they're going to come to pass. That lady, she told me herself she did it. She didn't go to lunch. She barely went out to dinner with friends she did not enjoy her life. And now it's over. It was over. Basically within hours, truthfully, after her retirement, because she didn't even make it a week. That's the only person I can honestly say that I know personally was sitting right next to the lady, everything, just retired and didn't even live a week. So I would encourage all of you to, I'm not saying go out here and go crazy, people, but I am definitely going to say to enjoy your life. Because life is short. Life is short. But you said something, I'm saying, I want to make sure I get your comment in. There we go. You said, I wonder what they say. I'm curious what they say about you retiring. Because it really is a personal thing. When the lady, as I said, when she retired, I froze. I'm sorry about that. When she retired, all I kept thinking was, let me put this up for you guys. All I kept thinking was when I got the call, I think I dropped the phone. Think about what happened then. Because I remember, I'm saying this to my girlfriend. I said, she's finally booked that cruise. So I'm saying, I'm pushing her on to her goal, not knowing she'll never go on that cruise. It's unfortunate that she did not take advantage of the time she did have. So I would encourage each of you to do that. Take advantage of whatever it is. Like if there's somebody on here that says they want to do something, and I don't know what the something is, but do it. Don't keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do it next year. I'm gonna do it in the next 5 years." Don't do that. I've seen it. That I've seen people leave this earth, and they were talking about doing stuff. I'm gonna use. I hate to say it. I'm gonna use Front Page Publishing as an example. Right now, I'm up to 6 people. 6 people have said, come to me and said, "I want to write a book, Mary, but give me some time. Give me 6 months." I just sit up here and I'm like, okay. What can I say? Right now, 6 people have died. 6 before they ever wrote a word. And they were all anxious, and for the most part, younger than me. In fact, I'm trying to think who was older than me. I don't think it, maybe one, but for the most part, younger. And they did not live to write a word, not one word. And I'm not trying to say this to scare you. I'm trying to say this is real. This is real stuff. And whatever it is, oh, you spelled his name right, Oliver. What happened here? Whatever it is you want to do, he's 84. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oliver is the fact checker for today, ladies and gentlemen. His doctor, Malawa, Malana, what's the last name? Karenga. And he's 84 years. 84 years young. That's what he is. 84 years young. I don't know why we say, oh, we think about as young. 84 years young. So anyway, so I'm saying this to you, ladies and gentlemen, not to scare you, but to scare you. I know it sounds crazy, but it is, because and I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty. I really try to work at that, because I know I started walking regiment this year, which I'm really glad for. Thank God. I started doing exercise, something consistent, walking, doing something, because I'm on the computer most times every day. So I tried to do something that was definitely healthy. Drinking more water. These are things I've tried to do to be more healthy. Is one, drinking more water, which I try to drink a lot of water all day. 2, walking in the morning, just walking. That I know my doctor said 30 minutes 3 times a week, and you've extended your life by 100 years. You extended your life by 10 years. I told him I'll take those 10 years. He said, then you got to walk, Mary. You got to do something every other day. You don't have to do it every day, but every day for 30 minutes. You can lift weights, you can get on a bike, you can walk. He said, I don't care what it is, but do something for 30 minutes and get that heart rate up. Bottom line. So I'm passing that on to any of you that would be interested in those kind of things. But I would also encourage you, keep your job. Let me tell you that. Keep your job. But what is it that you want to do? I really think that's the hardest thing. Figuring that part out. What is it that I want to do? But nobody can decide this stuff but you. And that's what's so fascinating about that. Nobody can make you do it, and nobody can decide what is it that you want to do. And this is what I think. Why? Because when you do it, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, it's not work. It's not work. That's the difference. Oh, Miss Kendall, you're on point, Miss Kendall. You like, I have a comment. They said I should have kept working because of the money and not to rely on the dollars and my savings. For me, it was not just about the money. I realized the more I made, the more I spent. Tell it, Miss Kendall. I tell people this all the time. When you have your retirement, you don't, well, I'm going to speak for me. I can only speak for me. I did not even miss it when you put money in your account. This is how for school teachers, okay, I was at the secondary level. In our district, we got paid on 10 months. So for 2 months, we didn't get a check. But you could go and ask the in payroll to divide your check over 12 months. You can do that, but that's up to the person. And I remember when I first did looking at the check going, wow, this is, it reduced the paycheck you brought home. But guess what I learned from that lesson? I still survived. This is what people don't fail to realize. You are absolutely right. The more money you have, the more money you spend. That's just the facts. That is the facts. And those of you say you don't, I applaud you for that. I wish I was like that. I'm not there. I'm still a work in progress about that. And then Sheila, is this Sheila? Hi, Sheila. I haven't seen you for a minute. Good to see you. Welcome back. Oh, you meant Social Security? Is that what you meant? Well, I would tell you, I'd tell anybody. This is what I always say too. You guys get my sayings today. Give God room to work. Does anybody know what that means? Give God room to work. Sometimes we're so, what's the word I'm looking for? Intent that we have it all figured out. We got it. We don't, and what we're saying without saying it is without saying we don't need God. We're not saying we don't need God, but we got it all figured out. We don't, God, I know how much money I got coming in. I know this, I know that. We got it all figured out. So we don't give God a place to work. We don't make room for God to work. We don't. And I would tell you, you got to give God room to work. Where's God? If you don't, and when I say that, give God room to work, I need to, keep that phrase. It's true. Because we want to know, are all the I's dotted? Are all the T's crossed? Is everything where it needs to be? Sometimes it is not. It is not. So just know that, and I'm speaking for me, of course, can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for me, is everything I don't think has ever been perfect that I can think. I'm trying to think, has it ever been perfect? There's always something. You got these balls in the air. There's always something. There's always something going on. I'll put it like that. And this is what I think. And I think it's his way of keeping us on our knees. Keeping us on our knees, praying and believing that you are not the end all be all to this planet, to this earth. So wherever the need is, and you may say, well, I don't have a need. I'm healthy. Everybody doing good. Everybody got money. Everybody. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. My life isn't like that. No, there's problems, there's issues, there's stuff that needs to be taken care of. It's life. What's the saying now I hear? Life be life in. Whoever made that up, I like that one. Life be life in. But I think that's a way of God telling, stay on your knees. And to be honest with you, you don't have to get on your knees to pray. You sure don't. You do not have to get on your knees to pray. I pray 24/7. It doesn't matter whether you don't have to be on your knees. Let me say that. But one day I actually said this. I said, well, Lord, what about people that never pray? You know what he said to me? You pray for them. Because there are people that never pray. There are people that don't, because people are, and that's their choice. Let me say that. Atheists, they don't believe there is a God. Happy New Year, cousin. Hi, Gwen. I'm still here. Gwen's been here from day one, the very first show, and still here. And Gwen, the time is changing. Just so you know, come next Monday, it's gonna go where it's the Mary D show is live at 5:45. I just like saying that. So definitely, it'll be 5. And tell everybody so you all know. 5:45. This is the last show from the 1 to 2 o'clock. The last one. This is what let me tell you guys this, because I know we're getting near the end. I asked Tamron Hall if she would change her time of her show. She said no. I asked Jennifer Hudson if she would change the time of her show. She said no. I asked Beyond the Gates if they would change the time of their show. They go no. I said, oh, I guess I have to change the time. Think about what I said. You know those people could care less. They like, are you crazy? They are all that 1:00 time slot. It was so many. Think about what I just said to you. All of those. Tamron Hall, Jennifer Hudson, Beyond the Gates, 1:00 time slot. I one day I looked up, I said, so you're up against all of this and think you're gonna win. You're not winning. In case you wonder, you're not winning this. It doesn't work like that. So that's why it had to change. But I know we're getting near the end, so I definitely want to tell you. This is Antonio. Did you put your number in there for everybody? Hi, Mary. I tried to put my Oh. You know what, Antonio? I'll try. It may be the system doesn't want telephone numbers in. And it could be because it's on Facebook and YouTube, and that could be why, Antonio. So I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. I'll put my number back up. And if you're interested, just call me, give me your name and your number, and I will give you Antonio's information. He would love to connect with you. Antonio will tell you he is autistic. He is a writer. He is a musician, and he is a painter. And he is a wonderful, wonderful young man. I've been in contact with Antonio now a couple of years. Antonio, and you sent it to me on Messenger. You sent me, okay. Okay, thank you, Antonio. And he's wonderful. His mom is wonderful. I talk to him all the time. And they live in South Dakota. And we compare. Ooh, sorry about that. We compare weather. The weather in California versus the weather in Antonio. Oh, he said he would love to contact you all, but you have to call, leave your name and number on the probably on the voicemail, and then I will give you Antonio's information. So I don't want to put it in the system. And he said he would love it if you'd like to contact him. Oh, okay. Antonio loves to talk to people, loves to. So if you would call that number, and I will. Antonio said, please send it, Mary. I will. I promise you I will. So there's the number. Call that number, leave your name and your number on that number, and I will give it to Antonio because I talk to him all the time. But ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to near the end of 2025. And I want to thank you again for supporting the show, for being here. And let me tell you guys, I actually was trying to determine if I should stay or go. I was going like this. Should you stay? Should you go? All that kind. And then I think it was like the next day, 3 people called and said they wanted to be on the show. I was like, okay, Lord, you're showing me stay. But there was about 2 weeks ago, I was really trying to go back and forth. Yeah. Yes, there, so just so you know. But if you're interested in being a guest, you would call the number. Also, there is a fee to be on the show because there are people that work behind the scenes to make all this stuff happen. But I will tell you, it's very reasonable. It's not no astronomical or anything like that. But I want to let all of you know I love you for being here. For those of you, thank you, Antonio. Oh, and he says, Mary, and then please. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, sweetheart. I will make sure that if they leave their information. Oh, thank you, Gwen. That's so sweet of you. You're winning in 2026. Oh, I'm honestly just being here. I know some people say, well, you don't look like you have that many people watching your show. I've had people tell me that. And I go, you're right. But guess what? My show is no different than Oprah. It's on YouTube. YouTube is worldwide. It's no different. But it's a blessing that I can come on and talk to you and see you once a week. And whatever part I can play in your lives. If you are not on my email or text list, if you call that number and you leave your name and information, you'll get a text and an email when the show goes live. I email once a week about the show, but different things. I have one day every week I teach about Black history. I didn't used to do that, but I do that now. So I try to do something every single week. And Antonio, I see you already calling me on my phone, and the show is not even over yet. So, um, and then Sheila, what did you say, Sheila? I'm sorry, I didn't see what you said yet. And Sheila says, oh, thank you, Sheila. That's so sweet of you to say that. And that's the goal. The goal is, um, this is what I've learned, ladies and gentlemen. This has become my platform to teach now. My email list, the text list, and the show. I no longer teach in a classroom. My classroom is social media. That's where I teach from. This is where I teach from. So, whatever you can glean from all the things I talk about, anything that's going to help you and your family. There's a lady that contacted me not too long ago, and she told me, she goes, when you send those Black history out, I read them to my grandkids. I read it to my grandchildren. I was honored to hear her say that. Elaine, I know it's after 2, but I'm staying. I said, I'm riding with God. Come on, Elaine, in 2026, asking that God help me get clear direction of what He wants me to do next, fulfilling my purpose more. Thank Him, including trials that He took me through in 2025. Thank you, Elaine. And I think we don't realize those trials. What are they? And many of you know the saying: "If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger." I didn't used to believe that saying, people. Now I know it's the truth. Oh, thank you, Dr. Aura. Thank you so much. We have to talk. We have to talk. So, but I will tell you, they do make you stronger, because I don't even want to go. We don't want to go through the trials I've been through. You guys will be here all day if I go through that. But I'm just saying, um, they do. They do. I used to think that was just a saying. It isn't. It isn't, because life is so unpredictable. It's unpredictable. We think we have it all figured out. And like I told you, I honestly, truly do not remember the name of that lady, but I remember the story. I remember that story I was telling you about. She had it all figured out. She was telling us. She said, you know what? When the only thing that got me was when she said, now I'm going on a cruise. I think that's what I was like, what? Now you're going on a cruise? If I waited till I had $500,000 in the bank, I would have never went on a cruise. That's what I was waiting. I just said, when I told her, I said, it's not that expensive to go on a cruise. The lady looked at me like she's seen a ghost. She said, what? I said, no, it's not that much. She couldn't even hardly take it. So just know, ladies and gentlemen, whatever it is you want to do, it's probably not that expensive either. But we still have things in our head that may or may not be even true. All of us do, by the way. But keep in mind, whatever it is you want to do, please do it. Please do it. God bless each and every one of you. I will see you on January the 5th. I think it's the 5th. Yeah. January 5th of 2026. God bless you. I love you. And give it in a week from today. I'll see you back again. Bye, everybody.